right, good morning, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me all right. Morning, Johnny. Hope everybody had a good week. Let me know if you guys went fishing. Give me some reports. Who's out fishing right now? It's pretty cold this morning. Morning, Josh. Oh, all right. So make sure you give the video a like. That helps the channel quite a bit. And we'll kind of move on with things. See what came in this week. A bunch of stuff came in this week. Shimano came in this week, so we are loaded up on Dakotas and Taloras. If you want 800s or 600s with line counters, without line counters, we got all that. Talora copper rods came in. We got the 7-footer right here. We've got them in 8 and 9 foot. Some downrigger rods came in as well. So we're starting to get loaded up for spring. All right, catch up to some comments here. Hey, Sean, Early Bird, Cap, Russell, Mo, Chevy, Seanzilla. All right, good morning, everybody. Early Bird says no fishing, but took reels apart and re-greased and oiled them up and then retired leaders. I give you credit for taking your reels apart. I just run them to the ground. So good for you for maintaining your gear. Yodi Man, good morning. Justin, Robert, 45, Tommy, good morning, everybody. All right, what else came in? Oh, we loaded up on Killerfish this week. So there's these are the Ice Strong Outdoors. They're like a Brad's Thin Fin. See if I can get it to focus there. I put the camera a little further away. Maybe I need to get it closer. Let me move the camera up just a hair, and it might work better. Maybe I'll try a different color one too. So this is always one of the best colors right here. The mixed veggie. That works better. All right. So we got some of those. There's a lot of cool colors with these. I think I have like 30 different colors. There's a couple I forgot to order, so I'll have to get in on that. But yeah, these are all available online. All right. 40 says he's currently watching his Vexlar on Big Green Lake. Are you catching anything on Big Green Lake? All right. Wow. Robert France is watching me from Disney World. Have fun at Disney World. Good morning. Morning, everybody. All right. Justin's in Sheboygan fishing right now. Mr. Big Fish says I have one of 12 rods to finish rigging coho in a month and a half. Yeah, it's right around the corner. It won't be too long. We're catching cohos. All right. Morning, everybody. Good morning, Rob. What kind of hook should I replace on P-line jigging spoons, laser minnows with a sidewash hook, or a good treble hook fishing off government pier? You know what? It's kind of a personal preference between treble or single hooks. Most people still go with the trebles. Singles are nice because you typically get a little deeper hook set with it goes deeper into the flesh of the fish. That being said, you might miss more of the hookups. I think when it's all said and done, it's about equal. But the nice thing about single hooks are it's a lot easier to unhook the fish, and they don't get all tangled up in the net like a treble will. All right. All right, what else came in? We got in the Daiwa Regals here. We got in 4000s. They came in this week. Shimano Siennas came in this week. I got more of the Ninja mini boards this week. What else? Oh, more rods. So reloaded on. Well, we got them all messed up here. The first shipment so far of the Shimano Scimitar spinning rods. I just got a shipping notification this morning of a bunch more in different lengths. Right now, I've got the 8.5 medium heavy and the 9-foot mediums. These are a great budget rod for about $50. So I got a bunch of these. They're online as well. And then I think I have a whole bunch of different lengths coming, like longer ones. Like if you want an inexpensive float rod, 11.5. I forgot which lengths they're coming in, but there's some longer float models coming as well. And then got a big shipment of Diamond Elites. So the 7.5 foot downriggers, the 7 foot coppers, some of the 8.5 foot coppers, more of the 8 foot downriggers, all that. So I know a bunch of people were waiting for those. Those are now here. So, yeah, so that's what came in this week. So, yeah, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. All right. We'll catch up to some of the comments here. Good morning, Frank, Rob. Anthony says, when the coho start, where do the kings go? Just curious. Thanks. Sometimes we catch those kings right in with the cohos. If you just happen to have a spoon down, you'll catch a king here and there. Last year we were catching the kings on our coho rigs. I think the first trip of the year we caught a decent sized king on a 00 Dodger and fly just off a board. Sometimes they're out deeper. Sometimes you can catch them off the edge of the hill out to like 120. So there's no rule of thumb on where they're at. And some years we don't really see them right away. They take a little longer to get here. Last year they were here pretty early. So every year is a little different. Let's see. Mr. Big Fish Nate says, do you all have free shipping? I don't anymore. I used to. But then my shipping rates went up, so I had to quit the free shipping. All right. I'm working on it right now, getting a better deal on shipping rates, so then maybe I can go back to it. All right. Good morning, Jason, Missy. Cut you up here. SBG. Any recommendations from anyone on what brand size features for a small boat Android pad for a smart troll? I wouldn't be the one to be able to answer that, but hopefully someone in here can. I'm just not an expert on tablets and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm sure someone in the chat here will know more than me about it. Last year off Government Pier in Waukegan, we were getting perch and coho at the same time. Yeah, we've started to see that more and more the last couple of years, especially right before perch season closes. Then the perch come in for us. All right. Hey, David Himes. Oh, thanks for reminding me, Josh. Any update on North Point Marina? Yeah, thanks for reminding me to talk about that. North Point, looks like we are good to go. Skipper Buds took one for the team. They did not want to take it over, but they did sign, or pending signing the short-term contract, so that we're good for this year. I don't know if it's 100% official yet, but they said it was 98% official, and they said go ahead and spread the word that North Point will be open this year. So it sounds pretty much official. I think it was just waiting for some lawyers to kind of dig through a few things, but other than that, it sounds like pretty good. And I don't think there is anybody better to take it over than Skipper Bud. So looking forward to a good year at North Point. I'm sure there'll be some growing pains and, some transitional things that'll be some little hiccups here and there, but I think it's in good hands with Skipper Buds, that's for sure. All right. Do the cohos come into the harbors in the spring? Most of them stay right outside the harbors, but we do catch some inside. I've caught a bunch inside of the mouth at Waukegan. Not like all the way in by the boat launch usually, but, within 75 yards of the mouth. I've caught some inside the mouth of Kenosha. I've even caught a few inside the mouth of North Point here, but typically you're better off if you're casting from shore, at least casting out into the lake. And if you're in a boat or kayak fishing out in the lake, typically most of them stay outside of the harbor, but they'll be really close in vicinity to it. All right. Thanks for the Saturday morning fix. Thanks for watching, Reed. I'm glad you enjoy it. 45 says he just landed a 20-inch Laker on a Jigawhopper. Awesome. Glad I could bring you luck. All right. David's jumping the gun and already commenting with Okuma. I don't know if I haven't started the bot yet for that, so I don't know if that's going to work. You might have to say it again once I get that going. All right, morning, Sherry. Coho being caught through the ice on Superior right now. That is one thing I haven't done yet. Is gone up there for the cohos through the ice. That looks pretty cool. I know there's been a few caught through the ice around here, but they're the oldie moldy ones in the rut. I've had some customers showing me some pictures of that, a few of them this week from in the rut. And there's still a few kings around now that we're in February. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, there's still some nasty old salmon around mixed in with the browns and stuff. Jason says, come see Rob in person in all his glory this week's general membership meeting for the Salmon Unlimited. Yes, I will be speaking at the Salmon Unlimited club meeting Tuesday. Pretty sure it's Tuesday. And yeah, so come on in. I'll be talking a lot new gear, some of the old gear, things that are changing, all that kind of stuff, and just answering a lot of questions. It's always a good meeting to go to, the club meetings in general. Especially if you haven't been part of a club. Clubs are a good thing to be a part of because they help support the fishery. Salmon Unlimited of Wisconsin puts on Salmonorama, so they're always looking for help with that. So make sure you get involved. But yeah, what else have I got for you? Jason says 3 LMA gift certificates raffled for door prizes for active members. So there you go. Win a gift card for here. Josh is reminding everybody again. What do you recommend for spring cohos? Kind of depends on if you're talking about shore fishing or boat fishing. But one thing that works great for both are these Killerfish and the Brad's Thin Fish right here. Especially if you have good casting conditions. Another thing that came in this week that's good for that. If you're casting from shore, the Lonnie tubes. So I just got another shipment of Lonnie tubes this week. Fishing little jigs like that under a slip bobber can be really good. If you're casting from shore, small Kale wobblers, Castmasters, the P-line laser minnows. Sometimes just a minnow or a night crawler works good. Shrimp works good. Those spring cohos are not super picky fish, so there's a huge variety of things you can catch them on. If you're in a boat, you can troll crankbaits like these and flicker shad. Anything along those lines will work. And then as the water starts to warm up just a hair, like in our area, once we get closer to May, then the double O Dodgers, the stubby Dodgers, and peanut flies like these right here. Munda just dropped off a bunch of the next gen peanut flies. That's always like the top producer. Some of the two-tones. Stuff like that when you're in the boat, just off of dipsy divers or planer boards are always really good. Yeah, I guess, let me know if you're fishing from boat and shore. And yeah, if you want to talk about it more, feel free to stop and shop or give me a call or whatever. Any ice stopper bobbers in stock? None at the moment. I'm going to try and get some more this week. I thought I was going to be done with them for the season, but I'm getting asked for them a lot. So I am trying to get some probably middle of the week. There's no promises there, but we're gonna try. All right. David says he's getting browns in Sheboygan River right now. All right. Yes, March 11th is when I'll be there. I actually drove past it's at the 5th Street Yacht Club in Racine. I drove past it Tuesday night and saw a full parking lot and then was terrified that I had forgotten the meeting was going on. So luckily I didn't forget. It's this coming Tuesday, not the past Tuesday. Are you aware of any Japanese salmon lures that would work on Lake Michigan? Japanese fishing methods and lures have seen popular in both U.S. bass fishing and some saltwater jigging. I am not. I haven't really paid too much attention to the Japanese salmon lures. I guess I'll have to check that out. All right. I saw on one other junior YouTube channel that Okuma was going to extend their giveaways if likes reach 95% of viewers. Has anyone else heard that? Rumors are flying, that's for sure. I can't make any promises there. But yeah, I'm starting to run low on that Okuma stuff. So today's going to be a Diamond Elite rod. And then after that, another new convector next week, and I think that starts to dry up our giveaways, and I'll have a few other things to of my own to give away as well. But if any other companies out there watching and they'd like to participate in this and help with the giveaways, we're always open to that. Like Sword Knife was generous enough around Christmas to donate one of their limited edition knives to give away during this, and that was awesome. But yeah, we're always open to that. Thanks again to Okuma for doing all this for us, and then Sword as well. Really great generosity. It's helped me a lot with the YouTube channel and expanding it and all that. So, oh, Wednesday. Okay, so I'll be at the club meeting Wednesday. There's a bunch of clubs. They all meet on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I get them mixed up. So Wednesday, 7 p.m. at the 5th Street Yacht Club. Thank you. All right. Scott says, I would like to fish the power plant in Wisconsin. Is there any ramps open other than Milwaukee that I could get a small boat into? I'm guessing that the Racine ramp is open right now. That would be the only other one. All right. Early Bird Adventure says Mag Lips and Michigan Stingers worked last year. Yeah, I know you are a big fan of the Mag Lips. The cohos aren't the pickiest fish. They'll eat a lot of different things. I know you've had pretty good luck with everything with the Mag Lips. Much better luck than me. David Heim says, I use 7-foot rods for my low divers, and I'm wondering what length you recommend for high divers. Just something longer. 8 or 9 feet will be fine if you're fine with 7 foot for your insides. All right. Where'd that go? There we go. Do cohos go shallow or deep in the spring? You know, there's usually cohos deep and shallow. You kind of have two different schools going down there. So what you'll see is, as far as reports go, it'll appear that the fish are going to be shallow because everybody's going to fish for the shallow ones, especially starting off in Indiana. And then you'll have a group of fish that'll work their way up the shoreline here and then just keep heading north. And then everybody starts catching them. Usually at the same time, there's going to be another group of fish out deep. And those fish are often untouched because no one really fishes for them unless the shallow fishing gets really tough or those fish disappear. Oftentimes, those fish can be smaller or some of the shrimp eaters that aren't following the school's alewives. So when we have these cohos showing up here, they're typically following alewives that are coming in shallow to spawn. And the fish that are following those alewives typically grow faster than the ones that have just been eating the other stuff out in the lake. But yeah, they'll be shallow, they'll be deep. The other time guys will just go out deep for them is if we have some real bad weather and the lake gets all churned up and shallow and it's muddy water, then you're kind of forced to go out deep. And then kind of the rule of thumb is just start at the mud line. Usually that's a really good starting point, and then take it from there as to where you're going to go. All right. Do you happen to remember the name of the book you mentioned last week, Fish Seeing Color? I think it was How Fish See, and I forgot to look it up after that. But yeah, How Fish See. All right. Morning, everybody. Still coming in here. Mr. Big Fish likes 9.5 for high divers. I'm a bigger fan of shorter rods. If I can get away with shorter rods, then I like the shorter stuff. All right. Oh, so the ice stoppers are not in stock. I'm hoping to get some this week. There's no promises there. I thought I was kind of done with it for the year, but enough people still want them and need them that I'm trying to get more, probably Wednesday, Thursday. All right. Yeah, the harbor itself is ice, but sometimes the boat launch, like ice is in and out of the boat launch area, depending on the wind and stuff. So that would be the only other option. All right. Do I do any ice fishing? I do, not as much as I used to. I used to be on those harbors every single moment I could. Now I do more inland stuff. So actually, it reminds me, I was out this week It was tough fishing for me. And actually, most of the inland reports I've had were pretty tough this week. A couple real good reports from the Fox chain, but the other inland lakes, I wasn't hearing too much. There's been some pretty nice pike caught down here in the marina. It hasn't been getting hit too hard. But now that Skipper Buds is in charge, people are going down there and fishing. I've seen a few pictures of fish that were in the 30s, 38, 34, stuff like that. Real nice thick pike. I haven't seen any pictures of or had any reports of any trout down there, but you know, at any time you can catch a trout in North Point. But yeah, Eagle Lake, I had some reports, some decent catches with pike, just tip up fishing. But overall, more people complaining about tough fishing inland than anything else. Kind of the same thing in the harbors as well. I've had real mixed reports. Some guys telling me they're doing great, some guys not catching anything. I think it depends a little bit on where you're lining up, you know, if you just landed on the fish or not. But and every day is different too in those harbors. But definitely mixed reports in the harbor. I had some guys said they caught 20 fish. Of course, that was with a whole group with a lot of lines in the water. So you got to keep things in perspective, especially like if you see what the guides are catching, if you're following them on Facebook and it looks like they're just pounding browns and stuff, you got to remember they've got the 3 lines out for everybody in the group that they're guiding for. So if you go out and catch 1 fish with your 3, you've done just as good as those guys are with their 20 lines in the water, or even better than they have, really. All right. Yep, don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate it. It goes a long way. All right. So we'll get going with the giveaway here. Let me get the bot up and running. All right. All right, go ahead. Okuma is the key word for the giveaway. Go ahead and you can start saying it. And if you have any other questions while we're doing that, feel free to ask. And again, make sure you give it a like. We learned last week, if you don't see the like button, you can just double tap the screen and that will like it automatically. But I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for watching. And again, if you need any of the gear here, feel free to stop in, give me a call. There's more stuff coming in this week as well. I don't even remember. I know there's more Shimano coming. I can't remember everything that's coming anymore. It just kind of comes. So there's a whole palette of Shimano stuff. I think more Potsky stuff's coming, more netting, Atlas Mike's netting, thread, some cures, all that kind of stuff should be coming pretty soon. What else? I think, and I know a lot of stuff scheduled to be delivered in March, like nets and everything like that. Probably, hopefully Stinger comes soon. Hopefully Gold Star Dodgers come soon. More flies will be here soon. So, yeah. And if anybody else has any fishing reports they'd like to share, feel free. Sherry asks, do I ship product? Yes, I do every day. You can order it online or you can just call me at the shop here, 224-789-7627. There's a few of the things that I mentioned here I still have to update the counts on, like the Shimano stuff. And I think I need to update the counts for the inventory for the Ninja boards. But the Brads and the Killerfish right here, they're all ready to order. Lonnie tubes, there's some I need to increase the counts on some of those so they can be ordered again. All right. All right. Let's see how many we've got so far. 91 entries. So 91 entries. I just saw a question, but I can't find it now. Do I get handle extensions? Nah, that's one of those things that they're not really offered to me through my wholesalers. -14 in Green Bay, not going outside. Do I have any of the 4-inch fly tinsel? Not right now. I'll probably be ordering some of that real soon, though. All right. what general size reels, 20, 30, 40 size for trolling? It really depends on the specific purpose of that reel. So for like downriggers, if you're looking at Okuma reels, then the 30 size is really good. Same thing with like braid dipsies or wire dipsies, although a 45 size is really popular for wire dipsies. If you're getting into lead core and copper, then you need to go bigger. 45s and even 55s, especially for most of the lengths of copper. So it really depends on what you're doing. So there's no real general size, one size fits all. It really depends on the purpose of the reel. So you should have to hit the like button to win. Yeah, I don't know how to make that work. Maybe someone else knows that. All right. What size keel weight is the most used for coho fishing? 5/8 is the most popular, but don't overthink it. It doesn't matter that much. I just throw on the first one I see rolling around in a box somewhere. I don't even pay attention to what size it is, really. But 5/8 is what I sell the most of. Do I ever use the Rod Boss rod handles? No, I haven't. I could see them being pretty useful for some people, but I just haven't used them myself. All right. So yeah, please give the channel a like. Mark says there's only 13 likes. I can't see how many likes there are. But yeah, please give the video a like. We've got 135 viewers. Let's see how many of we are up to 96 entries. 96 entries. So 42 likes. All right, that's not too bad. So we'll start winding it down. I've been tying spawn sacks all morning. I need to get back to that. So yeah, we do have a bunch of bait. I've got minnows, shiners, suckers, waxies, spikes, and hopefully before this afternoon, I'll have a whole bunch of spawn sacks tied up for anybody that needs trout egg spawn sacks. So, all right. 61 likes according to Bob. All right. We'll see how many we can get it up to. Everything I look at is a different number. I have like 4 different tabs open for this, and everyone gives me a different answer. You say you don't pay attention, but everything in the store works. Yeah, I mean that's just true with fishing. Like any lure will work, run it long enough. But yeah, when it comes, I guess I'm just not really picky when it comes to those keel weights. I don't think it makes a huge difference. I play with the distance behind the board. You know, if it needs to get deeper, you know, I throw it back a little further rather than retying a different weight. Usually, like first thing in the spring, if I might do 2 different setups, like say 6 rod setups, I might do 2 downriggers, 2 dipsies, and 2 boards. And it depends on how all in I am on cohos versus trying to get a mixed bag. So if I want to see if there's some kings around or other fish around, I'm going to have the downriggers down with spoons stretched real far back. If I'm kind of just all in trying to catch cohos, then I'm going to go with 4 boards and then 2 dipsies. Dipsies are always my best rods, and I'm just letting them out like 15 feet, 16 feet. But yeah, so like when I put those, say I just have 2 boards out for cohos with Dodgers, I'll probably just put one 30 feet out, and then I put the other one out 50 feet, and I just see which one starts working first. If the 50 footer is catching the fish, then I stretch that other one back to 50 feet, and if that doesn't start catching fish, then I might try a different fly or something. But I'm not like too scientific with it. You know, you just kind of develop a pattern based on what's working. So, all right, we're going to give this Okuma giveaway 1 more minute. We got 100 entries. We'll give it another minute, and then I'm going to get back to tying spawn sacks. All right. But yeah, last chance if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. All right. Do I change gypsy colors from Coho to mid-season presentation? Yeah, I've got some green ones that I'm not super picky with it, but I do like more like an orange or a green in the spring, the brighter colors. And then as I start fishing for kings, I switch to clear or black. That's really it. Um, I don't get too crazy with all the different Dipsy colors, but definitely brighter colors in the spring, I should say. Missed the first part. How's Kenosha for ice fishing? I know there's plenty of ice back in by the docks and in Southport, at least 10 inches. I think 15 in some spots, but mixed reports. Some guys said it was dead. Other guys caught some fish. Uh, just kind of day to day. Any news on fish, the pike, anything happening? Um, in the pike, it's pretty frozen. I drive past it every day, and guys have been uh, riding dirt bikes down it. I would imagine off the mouth yesterday probably would have been pretty good. And actually, if you want to open water fish, we had a little bit of snow and some runoff. That tube in Kenosha would have been really good too. All right. Snubbers are not on wire. I don't use snubbers. I think we have them on our mag divers, but not our regular ones. And I don't even know why. It's just never took them off. I don't use snubbers too often. I don't use it in my braids. Um, that being said, I sell like 700 snubbers every year. So obviously people like using them. I just tell everyone try one without and try one with it and see what works better for you. I think a lot of it depends on your specific setup, um, the drag that you have, the rod you're using, and all things like that. So yeah, just go with whatever works for you. If you're catching a bunch of fish without one and you're losing fish with it, take that other one off, or vice versa. That's the best way to go about it. A lot of the charters don't use snubbers. All right. Thanks for watching. Happy to do it. And yeah, if you guys need any gear, just let me know. Are the 7-foot copper rods on your website? Yeah, are you talking about the Teloras or the Diamond Elites? They should both be on there though, but I think I need to update the count for the Diamond Elites, so I'll try to do that right before I get back to tying spawn sacks. I was able to update the inventory for Shimano, but not for Okuma yet. It just all came in yesterday. Do I run 2 rods on a downrigger? I do not. I have plenty of other rods to put in the water. We only run 2 downriggers on our boat. I feel like that's fine. We have plenty of other rods, dipsies and lead cores and coppers to put in the water that I don't think it is worth the hassle of running 2 rods on a downrigger. I've done it in the past, and we had some success with it, but it also gets tangled a bit more. So if you have other options, I prefer the other options more. And another really good way to get another bait down on your downrigger is just to run a slider, which is you can do it fixed or free. Down here, it's more popular free, where it's just like a 4 or 5 foot piece of fishing line with a snap swivel on each side. You just put the snap swivel on one around the fishing line on your downrigger, and the other side you put a spoon, and basically it'll go down in the water to the bow in your line, because usually when you have your fishing line, the water pressure is going to pull that line back, and it'll just go to that furthest point. In Illinois, that's a popular thing to do because it doesn't count as an extra line, and that does catch a bunch of fish. You just have to remember, if you go into Wisconsin, then that counts as a line. So if you have 6, if there's 2 of you and you have your 6 rods out and you put sliders down, technically you got to pull 2 of your other rods. So just keep that in mind, but that's an easier way to do it. All right. How long are my leaders without snubbers? Also mono or fluoro. So my in the spring, my coho leaders aren't very long. They're probably like 5-6 feet, maybe. And then when we start fishing for kings, especially on our wires, it goes to 8 feet. Part of the reason with the shorter leaders for the cohos is they're not as picky. the short leaders work fine, and we don't like netting cohos, so the shorter leader is a little easier because we just flip them over or grab the dodger or whatever. If you net a coho on our boat, you'll probably get yelled at. But anyways, as far as the leader go, it's 40-pound. It's either 40 or 50-pound mono on ours, and that's because we pretty much only run dodgers or flashers on those, so we can get away with it. If we ever put spoons out, then we'll go down to 20. But that's kind of it for us. We keep it pretty simple. All right, I'm gonna pull a winner here, and the winner is Stanley Gora. So Stanley is still watching. Let's make sure you're still watching. So this is going to be it's an 8-foot downrigger rod. So on free sliders, do plugs dive down to the ball? I don't know. I never tried it, to be honest with you. I never put a plug on a free slider. I guess there's only one way to find out if you bring it in tangled up. All right. All right, Stanley, give me a call to shop here. The number is 224-789-7627, and we can arrange you getting that rod. And everybody have a good weekend. Good luck fishing if you get out there. All right. Again, if you need anything, stop in the shop, give me a call, check it out online, and that's about it. That's all I have for you, and hopefully I see you guys on Wednesday at the Salmon Unlimited meeting. All right, have a good one.